So, from Castle Hill to co-founder of one of the nation's biggest companies, what was the roadmap? Where were you getting that roadmap from?
Look, in the first couple of years, we just winging it, really. Like, we had no idea what we were doing. I do remember one venture capitalist we'd go to for advice, and everything we did was wrong. Like, as in, our business model was different from everyone else that had done things in the past. The way we sold was different, and he would just tell us why it was going to fail. And he would come and say, well, that's really good, but you're never going to sell $100,000 worth of software that way. We'd wait a couple of months and we'd go back and, oh, we sold a couple $100,000, seems to be working. He's like, yeah, maybe you're lucky, you never get to $1 million. And a couple, months later or a year later, we went back and eventually we stopped going back because we just blew through all the things. And
right.
I think it's because that we did things differently. And in business world, you have to be different and you have to be right. And luckily we were different and luckily we were right.
Is it odd to be on the BRW rich list?
I think it seems, coming from Castle Hill, like I didn't even know such a thing existed.
Yeah.
And so I think it's weird that in Australia we celebrate wealth. We celebrate sporting prowess, but we don't celebrate, the Vicky Crawfords of the world who, have touched hundreds of, children's lives, or we don't celebrate how many jobs get created by entrepreneurs. It's all monetary. So it's a bit weird because it feels like a weird measure of success versus like so many other measures of success you can have.
Did you ever know or expect, or what did you imagine that being a billionaire would be like?
It's not something you imagine growing up. Going from sharing a bedroom with my brother to having my own bedroom was like an amazing accomplishment. And so, the concept of having lots of money to spend is something that I'm probably still grappling with.
Yes.
How to spend it correctly and efficiently and make the my biggest impact in the world.
What's the best way to affect change that you've seen in terms of the work that you do?
I think for me, change starts with a vision for a different world. Unless you can paint people that there's a better world out there, most people are really happy doing what they do every single day. I remember someone, talking about that people will follow, effectively an arsehole that has a great vision, but a really nice person that has no vision won't have anyone following behind them. So vision is kind of the most important thing for leadership. So we have an Atlassian Foundation, which is our philanthropic arm of Atlassian. We've got money to give away. How do we give away in the most effective fashion? So we do, for example, girls' education in the developing world through Room to Read, and that has incredibly high return on dollars invested. It leads us to things like Pledge 1%, where we're trying to get every company on the planet to give 1% of their profit, their employee time, their equity to non-profits, right? So effectively we want to change so that every company gives back as part of being.